Hello. Schedule My Rent offers the ability to set up sub-users so that each person logs in with their own user ID and has their own access permissions. To help protect your account, you can require a special sub-user setup code and can also require sub-users to use multi-factor authentication. You can then set up the specific areas that each sub-user has access to in properties or groups of properties they can access. By adding multiple groups, you can set up almost any scenario. I will be walking you through how this service works. To set up sub-users, click on the sub-users link from the left menu bar. This brings up a screen that lists all of the sub-users. To add a new sub-user, click the New Sub-User button. First, enter the user's first name and last name. Next, enter the user's email address. The email is used to send a setup invitation, as is also used as their login ID. There are two security options for adding a new sub-user. First, you can click the Require Code box. After you click, a security code is shown that you need to give to the new sub-user. When the sub-user signs up for their account for the first time, they will need to enter this code. This code helps to ensure that only the correct person gets access to your account. We suggest that you do not provide the code to the new sub-user with an email. It is safer to provide the code over a text or with a call. Your second option is to require the sub-user to use multi-factor authentication, which makes the account safer. This requires the sub-user to enter a code from an email or from an authenticator app for each new device that is used. Please watch the separate video on multi-factor authentication for additional information. If you want to remove access for a sub-user, just unclick the active checkbox. The next step is deciding if the sub-user can view or modify any of the setup categories. In this example, for your bank account, neither the View or Modify option is selected. This means that the sub-user cannot view or modify your bank accounts. If the sub-user has access to leases, they may be able to direct payments to a different bank account that already exists. In this example, the sub-user has been given the permission to modify or add properties, unit groups, and notifications. The sub-user can also view contacts that have already been set up, but can't modify them. This section gives you the flexibility to decide if a sub-user can view, modify, or not see different setup categories depending upon their role within your team. The next step is deciding what functions a sub-user can use and for which properties. First, select which properties the sub-user can see. This can be set to all units or a specific set of units. If you don't want to provide access to all units, you can select only units that belong to a specific business, a specific property, or a specific combination of properties that was set up within a unit group. Please see the separate video for instructions on setting up a unit group. In this example, I'll select that the sub-user can only see the property called 200 main. I'm going to then give this sub-user full access to modify everything, except they can only view leases and can't modify them. In this example, let's say that this sub-user is also going to manage maintenance on 300 main, but not do anything else regarding this property. You need to set up another permission by clicking on the Add Unit Access Controls button. You can see that a new section has been added. You get an additional section each time you click the button. You often select a group of properties based upon a business or a unit group, but I am just going to select the specific property of 300 main. Then I select that the sub-user can modify maintenance for this property. You can continue to click the Add Unit Access Controls to add additional sections. If there are overlapping properties between different sections, sections to the right take precedence over sections to the left. If you have a set of properties that you want to give a sub-user access to, the easiest way is to first set up a unit group and to then set up access based upon this unit group. You can then click Save if you don't want to send an invitation yet. If you want to invite the sub-user to sign up, then click Save and Invite. You can now see that this sub-user is listed and you can edit, delete, or resend the setup invitation. When you send an invitation, the sub-user receives a welcome email like this. The sub-user then clicks on the button to continue. The sub-user is automatically sent to a welcome screen where they enter their password and phone number. If you required a security code, then the security code is also required to be entered. The sub-user can then see the dashboard if it is allowed, with only the properties that are allowed. In this example, the sub-user can see the two properties at 200 main, but can't see the units at 300 main since they are only set up for maintenance. Now looking at the left menu bar, the sub-user only sees the categories that are allowed. If I click on Maintenance Requests from the left menu, it brings up the maintenance screen. In this example, you can see a maintenance item for 300 main since this sub-user has access to 300 main for maintenance. And that's it! This video has shown you how to set up sub-users and give them access to specific functions and specific unit groups. You can set up almost any situation to support your team members and external people that need access. Please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.